Welcome to UrFaculty.com, a premier test preparation portal for GRE, CAT and bank exams. Today we are going to deal with divisibility rules. This is an interesting concept and it is very useful in all your exams, especially when there are questions around whether this particular number is divisible by 7, 13, 25 and all that. So to make your calculations easier, we are going to deal with some of the basic rules that are necessary for you to answer such questions. So how do we start? Let's say there is a question which says, okay, this is the number 5, 6, 8, 2, 3, 7. If this is a number and the question says, is it divisible by 33? So if such a question comes, you don't have to panic. It's a very simple question to answer. So how do we approach it? We'll start at the basic, and then we'll try to solve such complex problems. Okay, let's try to understand the divisibility rules for each of the numbers. I'll start with the divisibility test for 2. It's pretty simple and I think most of you would know it already. You just need to look at the last digit of the number. The last digit of the number would be one of these: 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. In short, if the last digit is even, then whatever be the size of that number, it is divisible by 2. Okay, so I think that was an easy one. We'll now move on to 3. In the case of 3, how do you check the divisibility? What you need to do is, you need to sum up the numbers. So let's take a small example now. I will say I'm going with 453. If this is the number given to you and they're asking you to check the divisibility for this number, if it is divisible by 3 or not, what you need to do is 4 plus 5 plus 3. This is equal to 8 plus 4, 12. We know that 12 is divisible by 3. So all that you need to do is, you need to sum up the numbers and check if that sum is divisible by 3. So let's take another example, 121. It could be natural for us to quickly say that 121 is divisible by 3 because 21 is divisible by 3. But no, the answer is it is not divisible by 3. What happens is 1 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 4, and 4 is not divisible by 3. You can check this out. You can try other numbers as well. All that you need to do is just sum up the digits. Let's take in this example 5, 6, 8, 2, 3, 7. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 8 is 19. 21. 21 plus 10, 31. If you sum up all these numbers, you get 31. And 31 is not divisible by 3. And hence this number is not divisible by 3. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now this by the way, this rule can be applied across. I mean, the number can be as big as a 10-digit number, 20-digit number, 30-digit number, whatever be it. But in exams, I'm sure you will get a number of the size of 5-digit or 6-digit. It may not be a direct question. It will be like a question that I had shown in the beginning of the video. Okay, so let me now move on to divisibility test for 4. In the case of divisibility by 4, let's take an example. I'm sure you might be comfortable for numbers from 0 to 100. One interesting thing about 4 is it shows the cyclicity. So let's say you start with 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. After that it is again cyclic, right? 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. It goes on, and after that it reaches 100. Then it's again 104, 108, 112, 116, 120. So there is a cyclic concept here. So because of this, what happens is the only factor that decides whether a number is divisible by 4 or not is just these two digits. Because as I told you earlier, 104, 108, it is cyclical, right? So it keeps repeating. So till 116. So it keeps repeating 116, 120. Because there's a repetition or a cyclicity of these numbers, what happens is in the case of 4, all that you have to do is look for the last two digits of the number. So let's take an example here. Let's take like 1312. We need to find out if this is divisible by 4 or not. We just need to check the last two digits. If this is divisible by 4, yes, then the whole number is divisible by 4. Let's take another example. 1334. Now we should not jump on to say because this is even, it will be divisible by 4. 34, because it is 34, it is not divisible because the number that is closer to it is either 32 or 36. Since the last two digits is 34 and 34 is not divisible by 4, 1334 is not divisible by 4. Moving on to divisibility test for 5. Now, it's pretty simple. I'm sure we don't have to spend too much time here. The last digit will be either 5 or 0. So, your 250, 755. So, the last digit will either be 5 or 0. If that comes up, you just need to blindly say that is divisible by 5. This can be applied when you try to eliminate certain choices. Divisibility rules can be applied when we try to eliminate certain choices during certain other problems also, especially in percentages or interest. You'll be able to quickly arrive at answers by looking at whether a particular number is divisible by one of the choices given there. So that way also you need to apply it. Now let's move on to 6. 6 is interesting because we will be applying this particular concept that I am going to explain for larger numbers as well. Let's say you need to find out the divisibility of 6. It is pretty simple. Why? Because you need to check if that number is divisible by 2 and 3. So, if let's say you are given a number 308, all that you need to do is you need to check if it is divisible by 2. Is it divisible by 2? Yes. Why? Because the last digit is an even number. So it is divisible by 2. Now, is this divisible by 3? Here again, what do we need to do? In the case of 3, we need to add up all the numbers, add up all the digits. So 3 plus 0 is 0, 3 plus 8, 11. So it is 11, the sum is 11, which means it is not divisible by 3. Not divisible by 3. Hence, 308 is not divisible by 6. Now, here is the funda. So they generally ask this question: how much number, what needs to be added to this number to make it divisible by 6? Now you know that when we summed it up, we got 11, right? So what is the number required to make this divisible by 3? 309. Now when we make it 309, it is not divisible by 2. So what do we need to do? Now we need to add 3 more to this to make it divisible by 6. 312. So here we know that if we add 4 to this, your number is divisible by, the given number is divisible by 6. Now how do you check if 312 is divisible by 6 or not? The last digit is an even number and we need to add up each of these digits. 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 2, and this number is divisible by 6. Please note, as I explained now, the concept that I explained now is a very important concept. Why? Because you will come across problems in CAT or in bank exams or in GRE where they will ask what number has to be added onto a particular number to make it divisible by 6 or 26 or whatever. So whatever be it, you need to, if you understand this logic, and then all that you have to do is apply what I did now. Okay. Let me now move on to a slightly more complex one, and the divisibility test for 7. I'm sure you might not have come across this in a lot of places. It is there, it's available, but during your schools and colleges you may not have come across this. So what do we do in the case of divisibility test for 7? Let's do it with an example. Let's take okay, I'll take a very small number, 105. Okay, so 105, how do we start? Let's take the last digit of the number. The last digit of the number is 5. You start off by doubling it. So how do you double it? You multiply it by 2 and you get 10. And then you need to subtract this number from the remaining numbers. So 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. So which means, and 0 is divisible by 7, and hence this number is 105 is divisible by 7. So how do we, I'll try to explain it again with another example. It is basically doubling the last digit. Doubling the last digit and subtracting it from the remaining number. Okay, let's take a different example now. Let's take 869. So if it's 869, let's double 9. 9 to 2 is 18, and the other remaining number is 86. 86 minus 18 is equal to 68, right? So is 68 divisible by 7? We know that 63 is the closest number divisible by 7, and otherwise it's 70, which means 869 is not divisible by 7. So you can apply it across. You just need to double the last digit, the units digit, and subtract it from the remaining number. Whatever be the size of the number, you can make it as big as possible, and you can keep trying it. I'm sure you'll appreciate this concept. Okay, now I'll move on to 8. Divisibility test for 8. 8 is a pretty, I think it's like your 4. Just that you need to understand, in the case of 8, the cyclicity, in the case of 4, the numbers are cyclic with 100. I mean, basically after every 100 you will see a repetition, right? Now, in the case of 8, it is after every 1000 that you will start seeing a repetition. So, keeping that in mind, what we just need to do is that we just need to look at the last 3 digits of the number. Okay, so how do we do it? Let's take an example of 118,816. Now, if this is the number given to you and they're asking you to check if this number is divisible by 8 or not, all that you need to do is take the last 3 digits, and in this case it is 816, and we need to see if 816 is divisible by 8 or not. Yes, it is. And what do you get? You get 102, right? So which means 118816 is divisible by 8. Now you put whatever number you want here. 108,816, 176,816, 156,816, 111,816, whatever be the number, because last 3 digits are divisible by 8, the whole number, you can add 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 also to it. If you want to understand if this number is divisible by 8 or not, all that you need to do is just get the last 3 digits of the number and bingo, that's the answer for you. And why is that so? You need to understand that in the case of 8, the cyclicity is when in every thousands. So after every thousand there's a repetition, because of which we just take the last 3 digits and yes, you get the answer there. Moving on, I'll now look at divisibility test for 9. 9 again is like your 3. You just need to sum up all the digits, and yes, in the case of 3, you checked if the sum is divisible by 3 or not. In this case, you need to check if the sum is divisible by 9 or not. Let's take a quick example. 1589. I've just written a random number here. So in this case, if we want to check if it's divisible by 9 or not, 1 plus 5, 6, 6 plus 8, 14, 14 plus 9, 25. The sum is equal to 25, and we know that 25 is not divisible by 9. Now just to make our job a little simpler, I will just make this 3. So 3, 5, 8, 9. 8, 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 9. Oh, sorry. So we just need to make it 9 plus 8, 3 plus 8. So I think I made a mistake here. 1589 was the number. 10 plus, okay, so that was a mistake. So it is 1589. If it is 1589, it is 10 plus 13 is 23. So the sum is 23, and 23 is of course not divisible by 9. Now let's take another example. In this case, we know that 27, so we are short by 4 numbers, so we just need to make it 5589. When we make it 5589, 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18, 18 plus 9 is 27. So sum is equal to 27, and hence this number is, hence it is divisible by 9. Isn't it simple? I'm just repeating it because I made this mistake over here just to reduce the confusion. You just need to sum up all the digits and check if that value is divisible by 9 or not. In this case, it was 1589 and the sum was 23, and we know that 23 is not divisible by 9, and hence 1589 is not divisible by 9. And how did we make it divisible? We know that the nearest divisible number is 27, right? And just to make it divisible, what we did, we just added a value 4 into the digit. So the easiest way to do is to make this 1 into 4, 1 into 5, which would mean that 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 8, 10 plus 8 is 18, 27. So we know that 27 is divisible by 9. Now, if the question is to arrive at the nearest number, what is the number that needs to be added to 1589 to make it divisible by 9? If that is the question, how do you handle it? So the best technique would be is to make this, add 4 to this number, and you will get 1593. No, when you add that, what do you get? You get a number which is just 9 plus 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18. So you know that the difference is, because it is 23, you are away just by 4 numbers, so just needed to add 4 to it. So it made, to convert 1589 into a number divisible by 9, we just needed to add 4, it became 1593. So this is another way to look at it. I'm sure you will be able to appreciate this technique. Now, divisible test for 10, the number has to end with 0. So that's the thing. Let me know if you have any doubts. You can visit us at our Facebook page, facebook.com/UrFaculty. This is our website, UrFaculty.com. We have a lot of practice tests there. You can take up the package that suits you, and you can also follow us on our YouTube channel. You can search for UrFaculty and you will be able to find it. UrFaculty is UrFaculty, UrFaculty.com. So these are the channels. Please do follow us and let us know your feedback. Thank you.